Resident Evil fan games.
Resident Evil is a series that needs no introduction, so I won't give it one.
Let's go. And I have to get you out of here. Now come with me.
But this might take some explaining.
Just hear me out, it's not what you think.
Resident Evil fan games are something that I never even thought was possible.
I don't know why, but Resident Evil just always had this vibe that was like, don't fuck with this is all you're gonna get.
But looking back, of course there's shit like this. I mean, it's a spooky location with puzzles and zombies, the possibilities are endless. All kinds of genres are explored.
So today I just wanted to go over a few interesting RE fan games I found.
RE4 Otome Edition is a fucking dating sim reinterpretation of RE4 from Ashley's perspective. If you don't know, Otome is a word for romance games marketed towards women. It was released by the indie studio Shimmersoft in March of 2021.
This is almost 5 years old and I've never heard of it, what the fuck?
So here I'm scrolling on the itch page. They got a lot of funny text written up about the game, a Discord link,
Which I ain't clicking that shit.
and some great screenshots. I cannot wait to play this.
It did say that a full run of this game could take like 5 to 8 hours, so I'm not going to be covering the entire game.
But hey, there's your excuse to play it yourself. I know you wanted one, you sick freak. So here on the title screen, Ashley's fawning over that handsome man, Leon Sex Kennedy. The game opens with Ashley recalling the events of RE4 after many years. She decides it's time to tell her side of the story, which starts with her leaving school after a hard test. She goes to meet up with her driver, only to find that the usual guy's been replaced by
Pepper spray.
Somehow, Krauser convinces her that he's her new bodyguard, so Ashley and Krauser, or Klaus as he's calling himself, get in the car and head back to DC. Well, not before flashbanging college students in the parking lot. Wouldn't have taken Klaus for the Samba type, wonder if he's gay. Let's try to break the ice a little, there's some tension in the air. Well, this is an Otome game, we gotta ask about his love life. I just thought maybe someone had snatched you up. I mean, what girl can resist silent scars and muscles, right? Heh yeah?
I guess you just have an intuition about these things sometimes.
Well, small talk's over because Krauser swerves onto a dirt road and stops at some random ass helipad in the middle of the woods. Only now does Ashley become skeptical of like everything happening right now, but it's too late anyways. Krauser drops his facade and Ashley gets kidnapped. She wakes up on an exam table to the sight of Sadler's face like 6 inches from her. She talks about Hellraiser and abstinence. Then this random ass guy injects her with Las Plagas.
Who is that?
Well, anyways, she passes out again and is awoken by the bells that summon everyone to the bingo hall. She sulks for a while until our guy Leon finally shows up. The actual cutscene from the game plays out, except this time we get to see through Ashley's shoujo anime girl vision. As my eyes feasted on the Adonis in front of me, my vision became inexplicably clouded by bubbles and sparkles. One look and she is in love with this guy.
And come on, can you blame her?
There's plenty of funny lines of Ashley talking about how hot she thinks this dude is and how strange his barrel breaking habits are. But we'd be here all day if I went through everything.
It kind of just follows the original plot of Resident Evil 4 from this point on, so I'm not gonna like summarize that.
Don't get me wrong though, we still have plenty to talk about, like how the fucking merchant is also like a romance option. Why? When this shoujo shit popped up on my screen, I thought it was a joke, but no, you can actually pursue your guy if this is your thing. Even Ashley is kind of put off by the fact that she's into this. Whatever, I'm not gonna judge. I really want to mention this, but I don't know how to bring it in naturally, but like when Leon first tells Ashley to hide in a dumpster, she pictures this.
I think everyone needs to see this at least once in their life.
Also, just while we're on a tangent, I want to mention that there's this like interactive checking Leon out section. I know some of you will appreciate this, you Leon fangirls are freaks. Our other romance option introduced in this chapter is Luis. When you first meet him, you can choose to have a reasonable or a violent reaction.
I think that there's more of these choices throughout the game and that like they can affect which endings you get or like which guy you end up with. But I only played chapter 1 because it took me almost 2 hours.
Of course, my first instinct was to react violently, which if you choose this, Ashley starts crashing out, calling Luis a fuckboy with an eye. And like honestly, this dialogue's a little cringy. But this was from 5 years ago and everything was cringy back then, so it gets a pass, I guess. If you choose the other option, the scene plays out like how it did in the original.
You know, the ballistics. Hell yeah.
After the house fight, Ashley hides in another dumpster and is talking to like her consciousness or something. She decides to call it Trashly, and again, I just think this is cringy. But like I said, it was 2021, it was a dark time for everybody. They talk about some meta shit. Leon and Ashley ride on the gondola. Leon fights Mendez. They enter the castle. Standard RE4 affair.
That's pretty much when I stopped playing, and overall I think this is actually a really well done fan game. I'm not the target audience like at all, but like I said, the Leon fangirls will eat this shit up. The first chapter took almost 2 hours, and still I cut a lot out for the video, so if you like enjoyed that, then check it out.
To me, the writing was super reminiscent of like Class of 09, which we will get to eventually. But the way Ashley is kind of a cynical bitch in this reminded me of Nicole, especially with all the references and quote-unquote edgy humor. But the cheesy dialogue shouldn't deter you. It doesn't happen that often. It's not like yick levels of skin peeling. But yeah, this one was good. Check it out if you want. Next game now.
Next up, we got another one I found on itch.io, Leon Kennedy's Grand Slam, made by Carrie Deltahead.
I couldn't find the exact release date, but it came out like 5 or 6 years ago. It was made in a week, and this is the only screenshot given, so set your expectations accordingly high. There's not much to talk about here, so let's just get on with it. We all have dreams. Some are bigger than others. None compared to hoop dreams. The desire to dunk. Sometimes people don't want that kind of slam. Maybe they just want a Grand Slam meal from your nearest Denny's location. That is what this story is about. After whatever the hell that was supposed to be, we're introduced to Metal Gear Island, a secluded island where every gamers with a Z favorite character have been banished by the US military. Today is Jill's birthday, but Leon still needs to get a present for her. He says a quick prayer and sets out. Oh, okay, I guess on Metal Gear Island there's no such thing as like Hot Topic or Bath and Body Works. If you want to buy a present, you have to draw a fucking pentagram and enter the gift realm.
Okay, I have no clue what the hell that was, but we ended up with a Blu-ray copy of Prometheus.
Why is Jill's house a single room with tile floors, a dining table, and a bed? The RPD has gotta be paying better than this. Even Leon had a stove. Kind of a random gift. I hope she likes it. I have your present. Is it Prometheus on Blu-ray? Everyone got me that. Fuck you.
What? No, fuck you, bitch. I had to work hard to get that. I had to draw a pentagram, offer Baphomet the blood of a virgin.
Carlos and Claire are here too. They both also talked to that fish guy, and the general vibe is that we don't like him. I ran around in circles for a bit before deciding it was time to ditch the party, but when I did, I ended up in this strange underground location talking to Denny from the movie The Room, I guess. I don't know, I was born in 2005. I know the one famous clip, but I think this is before my time. Basically, he's like, my dad owns a restaurant named Denny's that has the best food on the island. It'll be a dangerous journey, but Jesus Christ, honestly. Try to tell me those pancakes aren't worth it. You can't do it. Denny zaps us to Cohen Plain, a field inhabited by Billy Cohen from RE0. He explains that there's a very limited supply of Grand Slams left, and we're gonna have to face off against 3 other dudes who want one just as bad as us. The difficulty selection is tied to what weapon you take from him. I chose the gun because I wasn't fucking around, but spoiler alert, I think I kinda cheesed the game by doing this.
Not that I was trying to spend more than 10 minutes playing this.
The fish guy infects our mind with another vision. I think he's pissed, but that doesn't really matter because we gotta get to Denny's first. Okay, speeding through the rest of this. We're in Denny's purgatory now. Everyone else is here too, even Nemesis for some reason. They're all mad about being here, except for Carlos, who's the realest one in the room right now. Well, no time like the present. Let's just try to get this over with quickly. Our first opponent is Barry fucking Burton. Oh, never mind. It's actually the Numa Numa guy. I thought this only came out 5 years ago. Why is there a Numa Numa meme in here? There's also a room joke. Like, what? This battle screen is so funny to me, dude. Look at him. Unfortunately, this wasn't really a fight since I picked the gun. Barry dies from one shot.
It had to be done.
The next 2 fights are the exact same idea. You go up against James Sunderland and Richter Belmont. Even though that was 3 fights, Leon gets sent back to the purgatory, but okay, it's fine. I guess Billy just lied to us. Let's go back to the arena. The true final opponent is Gamer Edgeworth. Just look at this. This is what I would expect from a 2019-2020 era kind of game. He takes a couple more hits than the other guys, but he goes down quick enough. Leon finally gets his Grand Slam to his mild disappointment. So the young man lived his dream, but some dreams come with a price. What, like $13. Oh, no, okay, that's eternal damnation. Ada Wong's here too because she also had a Grand Slam and you go to hell when you eat one, I guess. There's a final live action cutscene of presumably the creator of the game walking to their bathroom with a copy of RE2, only to see that a pair of underwear has been left laying out. Oh, and the fish is there too.
And that's it for Leon Kennedy's Grand Slam. That was just kind of nothing.
I guess there was a couple funny moments, but the game is so short that you really get the full experience from watching a video like this. The creator themselves has said that they're not really proud of the game anymore and announced that a sequel would be released by that summer. The summer of last year.
Yeah, that ain't happening. For the final game I wanted to talk about, we're gonna have to head over to the greatest website on the internet, Newgrounds.
Like I said before, I was born in 2005, so I did kind of miss out on the Newgrounds heyday by the time I was conscious enough to use a computer, but I still spent unreasonable amounts of times on here every day after school watching cartoons.
So Samus, how about you show me that final smash? Wait, what the hell was that?
I put my clothes back on.
And playing fucked up Flash games.
And I think I turned out fine.
Resident Evil Ebola.
This is Resident Evil. Fucking Resident Evil Ebola, a game by Newgrounds user Meta Mike that was released in August of 2016. This shit is 10 years old. Not only that, but this is actually the first game in a series that is still ongoing to this day.
There's currently 7 of the 8 planned releases out, and I just want to commend Meta Mike honestly for the dedication to keep this going for 10 years.
If you like the Metal Slug games, you might have noticed how this is actually just Metal Slug.
It's like a Metal Slug ROM hack slash also fan game that kind of plays like Resident Evil. It does kind of lean more towards the shmup thing than survival horror puzzle solving, but Wesker's here, so I guess it's Resident Evil enough.
There are puzzles, but at least in this first chapter, they're pretty light. But that's enough talking, let's actually play the game. First, there's a quick tutorial stage. Pretty much, there's been a containment breach in this lab-type building. Walk to the right a couple of times, and damn, it's the timer from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. I was ready to fuck this dude up, but the game fades out to what's basically the opening cutscene of RE1. We're searching for our friends who've been investigating the strange murders in Python City. Our squad lands in the middle of the woods and splits up to search for Delta Team. I love the old school Flash game voiceover mic quality. Very nostalgic. Pretty immediately, our main character Mike and this girl Trina discover Delta Team's crashed helicopter. But before they can do anything, they're chased into a nearby mansion by some weird guys on all fours. Somehow they get separated 3 minutes after being inside, and now the game finally opens up. Our first task is finding a key with an axe emblem. Entering the door to the left, we have our first enemies. I've never played Metal Slug before, so maybe I just suck, but I feel like the combat in this game is just slightly jank. It'll be more apparent later on, but something about the guns just feels weird, not to mention the fact that you can't really dodge any enemies. For these little guys, it's not really an issue, but there's a boss fight later on where the boss walks back and forth across the screen, and there's just nothing you can do. I have seen people in the comments with a similar sentiment, not on this game specifically, but on other entries in the series. It's not an experience ruining thing, I'm just being nitpicky.
Maybe there's a secret jump button, or maybe I just gotta get good.
After that, there's this dark room with a fat ass fucking zombie running around. At the end is a door that needs a shield key to open, which now that the lights are on, we can see is just hanging around on the ceiling. You can kinda see what I was saying about the no dodging thing, I'm just getting fucked. Anyways, through that door is the merchant from RE4.
I was not expecting to see this guy again today.
He sells you weapons and upgrades and cracks the president's daughter. It's the merchant, okay? The next room has an actual puzzle. We need the 4-digit code to activate this lever so we can get across the bridge. Thankfully, there's a note literally 5 feet away with the code on it.
What kind of mansion is this? How does it have the infrastructure for this entire, bridge contraption?
There's another puzzle right after this, and just look. RBG, yeah, total no-brainer. We find a note on the ground talking about some self-destruct sequence. I don't know, it doesn't matter, because look, there's the key. Here's another part that was kind of jank. What the hell was hitting me here? It happened again the next time, but I was able to kill him this time. Anyways, heading back the way we came, Mr. X starts tiptoeing towards us. I tried to fight him until I remembered this is a Resident Evil game and just walked right past him. In the main room, we finally unlock the door on the right. It turns out that it's stuck on something, so we have to mash enter to kick it down.
Could we not have done that in the first place?
Oh shit, it's a perfectly square perimeter of fire. Let's just come back with the extinguisher. Yep, there we go. I ran out of ammo, so I had to knife a few zombies, but fate was on my side since I found the shotgun in the very next room. There was nothing to do, so I just left and stood in the previous one for 30 seconds for some reason. Well, the ceiling started coming down and I don't want to get sandwiched, so I gotta find a way out of here. Just in time, Trina kicks down the door and we can escape. Once again, is this not something I could have done myself? Hey look, sandwich joke. Anyways, just as Mike is telling her about Mr. X, he starts tiptoeing up from behind again.
This is the boss I was talking about, where he just walks side to side and there's nothing you can do.
In the end, I was able to beat him, so I guess it's just a skill issue. Luckily, you aren't sent back to your latest save and can restart from the beginning of the fight if you die. Just shoot him a bunch, use literally everything, it doesn't matter. Once enough time has passed, Mike goes for the kill, but gets punched through a wall. You kind of just walk through a sewer and end up in a cave that leads us to Olivia and Scarlet, some of the members of Delta Team. Mike tells them that they've been missing for hours, but they're like, well, that was the point. Wesker was the one who told them to go dark for the mission.
I love how all the characters have original names, but Wesker is still just Wesker.
We tag along with them and fight this strange crab robot thing. It's probably something from Metal Slug because I do not recognize this from Resident Evil. This is actually the final boss of Chapter 1. I died a lot during this fight too, but I take full responsibility this time. I was just sucking ass.
Resident Evil Ebola is still a super high effort and high passion fan game in my opinion. You can tell that Meta Mike really wanted to do something cool here, and I think he succeeded.
Yeah, I had some gripes, but like, it's not that serious. And hey, this is a Flash game from 10 years ago, developed by one guy who turned it into an 8-part series. That in and of itself is super cool. In the beginning of this one, he even added some text saying how the second one fixes some of the issues this game had. The second game actually came out 4 years after this one. The pandemic is what gave him the time to make it. I played a little bit of the second one and yeah, it's an improvement.
Overall, I'd say that if you thought that looked cool, just check it out. As of filming this, the final part still hasn't been released yet, but I mean, there's still 6 other games in the series to play. People on Newgrounds seem super enthusiastic about the series too, so I'm sure that it stays fun the whole time.
I found so many fan games based on Resident Evil that I didn't have the time to dedicate a whole section to each. There's a really cool one called Resident Evil Mansion that actually played like an old school RE game, but it was just a very short demo where you solve a quick puzzle. There were these 2 Game Boy D-makes of RE1 that were both pretty cool. I didn't play much of either since they're kind of the same thing, but it seems like it's all there. One of them had similar shooting mechanics to the original game, and the other one had a unique turn-based system. There's also an abundance of bizarre, goofy-ass fan games. Sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. I really wanted to play these ones, but I was almost afraid to download this.
The video's pretty much done now. I don't have much more to say. It's great that the RE fan base is so passionate about the series that they make entire dating sims, entire fan series based on it.
My name is Leon.
Alright, well that's probably enough.